Where are we?
This is Woodcrest wood shop. We have about 26 members. We run it like a club, annual dues. We have a board of directors. It was 7. We just lost an old-time member. Ran the club for about 15 or 20 years. 95 years old, just passed away last week. And I'm now chairman of the board of the shop. We have 6 members of the board. Right now we're in the bench room. We can do a pan around the benches. Various members are assigned to the different benches. Jim Johnson over there working on little toys that he makes. Empty benches that are not assigned yet to anybody. A lot of the guys are not in here very often, so they don't really use a bench. They use some of the work tables when they're here. All right. The chair I'm working on, one of the staff members asked me to strip the chair down and clear finish it. I've got the base pretty well done.
And this is you in the corner here.
This is my bench in here. I got some of the wood I got from the trip out to New Holland. I got for there, and I got other wood stashed underneath in boxes. Some of my exotic imported wood is in the box there, different materials.
So because you got a corner, you can cheat and overflow is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's right. And the cabinet holds my stuff in there. That chunk of walnut, this thing here is going to be a table leg. I'm working on a table for one of the residents over there. I'll show you the plank back in the storage area. These are some of the cherry I got from up on Barry's place there, Blossom Hill. And then this is some of the spalted maple we got over in New Holland Pike. Here's the other natural edge. The inside piece of this and the outside of this, I have boxed up to send out to North Carolina to my niece. She's giving them to her real estate customers. People buy a house, they get a bowl.
So how do you decide what to keep when you came over here as far as for your bench and work tools and stuff like that?
Well, it was a little difficult, but John helped me out in picking up a lot of stuff. I don't know if you got any of it or not, some of my wood and tools. But yeah, I had most of the power tools went through the club, yeah. And because they have everything here, I mean, it's all set up. I had a full set. I was knocking down rough lumber and milling and everything in my shop. But we have it all here, so I don't need all that.
So all the hand tools then are shared then, you're saying?
Well, yeah. I have a drill set, and I have a screwdriver set, and those types of things. But clamps, I had hundreds of clamps, and got rid of all of them because we got plenty of clamps here. And I'm not doing big furniture like I did before.
I can't imagine sharing my turning tools though, because sharpening and everything like that.
No, they're individual, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The machinery, the lathe and chop saw that I brought in, that's donated to the shop.
Okay.
But the hand tools and such, they're all personal, yeah.
Are they?
Yeah. No, I got one on cash.
You're the same then, are you?
This is our machine room here, John. You on?
Yeah, I'm just going to rotate around and just see what we see. And then we'll walk around.
Well, this is where I work back in here. This is the Powermatic that I brought in. Any machinery that's brought in is donated to the tools, to the shop. The hand tools and all are still personal. But this is what I'm making with this jig. This triangle jig, put that in the chuck, and then you can put a square like so, and hold it on the corner, and you end up with a piece with 3 corners. Yeah, my main bolt gouges are in here in the drawer. Here's a neat little thing that I saved from years ago for all my sanding discs, and I keep backup pad with sander disc right on it. I got one for every different grip, so that I don't have to change pads and so forth. I just feel.
Is that a floppy disk?
That's a yeah, the 5-inch disc. Aluminum blinds, window blinds, the 1-inch window blinds. I use that in put your sandpaper. You want to get around a sharp edge, put sandpaper around that. Really nice for cutting around the edges for sanding. I got turning tools in here, most of which I don't use anymore. Like the hollowing and so forth, I haven't done much of that lately. So it's my skew and other things are in there. Scrapers.
So you said these are your main tools that you use?
These are to make bolt gouges, yeah. That's what my main bolt gouges.
Are they all swept back?
Yeah, they're all self-specific. Well, yeah, all but this one. If I want to do the bottom of the bowl, I use this, what they call a conventional grind. We're going around the bottom. It's got the real sharp angle on it. We're going down across the bottom of the tool, of the bowl. But I've gotten to where I've been pretty good with the scraper. I'll go down across the bottom of that bowl, and it really eliminates a lot of the ridges and very little sanding when you get done with that. I've been doing this lately. Let's see what else. I got my buffer in here, buffing system, and this. Randy showed that the other day. This is the burning wood vaporizer that we made up there at Randy's place. This thing does work. It burns wood. The other drawer here just have miscellaneous chucks, jam chuck, sanding. I use this Harbor Freight right angle drill, 3/8-inch right angle drill. I really like it. They've lasted. Some people I've heard they burn them out pretty quick. Mine have lasted pretty well. I had one that burned out quick on me, so I bought new brushes put in. That thing's been running for ages. And well, hand tools and so forth in here. This is a little foam pad. You put a disc on it, or even a sheet of sandpaper. But I use this a lot for hand sanding, or even the bolt turning, and I use this inside or out.
Did you make it?
You know, they recommend when you're using hand sandpaper to put a backing foam pad or something behind it, and that really works. Some of the cores that I take out and corners that I cut off of blanks. I had a bowl blank, got a 13.5-inch bowl out of it. It was pretty thick, so I thought I'm going to take a slice off of there and let it sit here. Now it's cracking. But I think,
it's got the pith in there.
Yeah, it does. But I think I'm going to put some butterflies across here and then turn a platter and see what I get. But I put butterflies on furniture, and I made them deep. I made my own butterflies and everything, and I made them about 1 inch deep. And I think I'll do that and then turn it and see what I get. Otherwise, I could get 2 small ones out of here, but I'm going to try to get a big one.
Go ahead.
I want to show you this. I don't know whose these are.
Redwood.
Is that redwood?
Sure looks like it to me. I got
mesquite. Came from out west.
I got a piece of that at home. It's a redwood root from the redwood tree.
Okay. I'm going to make a table legs for that.
Yeah.
So one of the residents here asked me to make table legs.
So what else?
Oh, okay. This looks more like a woodturner's stash.
Yeah. There's some of that beech and elm. And then here we got hackberry
Look at the woods out back
walnut.
here. It's full of hackberry. I mean, some stuff's like it's big.
Yeah, we've got some big hackberries out
That
there.
rough wood.
It's got that unique bark to it. It's really, but yeah, I like this. It's handy.
So put it on the tool rest. Let's see how it works.
Well, yeah, when you're sanding, set that up there, wherever you want it. Slide it in. Set this down, got a small boy, raise it up. Yeah.
Very cool. Thank you.
This is some of the holly that we saw down at Bob's place that he had cut up and was using it in different pieces. I made a couple of bowls out of it. I had never seen a holly this size, so I just thought I'm going to make some white bowls. They stayed pretty good. Sometimes you see holly has these little gray marks in them pretty much all over, but this one was pretty clear. Then we got, this is a colorwood spiral that I did. This is one of them that, as I was just about done with it, flew off the lathe and shattered into about 15 pieces. But I managed to fit it back together where even I find difficulty finding some of the chunks and joints. So it came out pretty well. There's another colorwood up on top there. This one, I think I've shown it before at the club. This is a log centered this way and turned, and then turned back the other way and turned to turn the bowl and the bottom out of it. So you get a unique piece from that kind of a thing, I think. I've done these before, and I've not gotten anything as nice a form or as nice a finish on the wood. So that does seem like one that, and that's one of the early ones I did. Ones I did later were didn't come out as well. This is a piece of apple, I believe, yeah, off of an apple tree that I had taken down in the yard. Of course, when you're turning that, you got some pretty sharp wings flying around. But at AAW Symposium, I saw a piece like this that you could stand inside between the wings. It was that tall. Humongous piece of I just thought I'm going to give it a try. You spin it real fast, and of course you're cutting more air than you're cutting wood, but it came out pretty good. That's probably a quarter or a little less than a quarter-inch thick.
Oh, that's nice.
Another hollow form with a finial. Finial's glued in. Spalted maple. Here's an odd piece here. This is a deep hollow. In other words, this half was over here, and I hollowed it down through, and then cut it down through the middle, and then basically glue the rims together. Well, when I glued it, I didn't square up. I should have sanded this cut square to the base. So as the feet were too short, it wouldn't sit sat on the bottom. So I had to add the little walnut caps on the end of it. So then I thought, what do we do with it? Well, we got this programmable remote, TV remote, so that's what that's for. Guy up in Connecticut, Willow Burrow. And I was going to make a hollow form out of it. And I didn't know how to use a hollow form tool, and I didn't have a good tool. So I was using a bowl gouge. It's had a pretty good sized opening in the top. And with this bark inclusion, so I kept catching the edge and tearing it off. Ended up with an opening like so. So I basically hollowed it with a bowl gouge. But it's got the amazing grain, burrow grain in it, and crotch, and I don't know. Yeah. Here's another one that I did where I turned a shallow bowl and then split it down the center and glued the rim together, and then just glued little dowels on for feet.
Those dowels, they go all the way through?
Yeah, they go through. Yeah, it's only an 1/8 inch, 3/16 thick. So this was a walnut and maple glue up, and I turned it, and then split the turning and glued the rims together, And it turns out, if you look at the end, it's almost a hexagonal shape. And so I'm gonna intentionally turn one like that, make a hexagonal shaped bowl. It's got curved here, but this side and this side is almost straight. And I figured out I can do that, where I can end up with a six-sided bowl, hexagonal bowl when you cut it. And then the legs, you have to leave a rim around here and carve that out when you make the legs. So this one, I left openings in there, and I made the legs separate and slipped them up in. The legs were turned individually and then slipped up in and glued and then sanded on the inside. So these are some other items. Here's one that does. It's an inside-out turning made from 6 pieces. And you turn 3 pieces at a time. Do 3, turn them inside out, and do the inside and the outside. Then you do the other 3, and then you put them together, and you end up with 6, and do the final turning on it. I didn't dye the thing at the right time. Should have dyed it before I did the turning on the outside. I have some dye bleeding over on it. I learned a lot from doing it. Then it's been many years ago. I did this in 2008, and I've been wanting to do it again, and I've forgotten how to do it. So I've got to do some thinking, but I want to do some more of these. And this is the Seattle Space Needle. I had a book, and they showed how to make a Seattle Space Needle box, lidded box. Wow. And this is one that was inspired by the Southwest love pots, they call them. It's hollowed out, but it's all glued together. It doesn't come apart. But these are hollowed down into the center. And I turned most of this. You end up with a little carving in the center when you're done with it. I want to make another one. What I did to hollow the bottom, I hollowed the bottom out and then put a cap in the bottom. But I think in the next one, I'm gonna part here in the middle and hollow the top and bottom, and then put it back together with a bead in the middle to hide the joint. But I'm gonna try another one of these days.
How much time do you spend down in the shop, Ron?
I'm usually there 3 or 4 hours a day.
3 or 4 hours?
3 or 4, yeah. Most days of the week. And there's other odds and ends. The platters up on top of there. I've done quite a number of them.
Okay, very cool. Thank you.
Thank you very much.